Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show on television, on City TV. On The Point of View, we usually bring guests, ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. But every now and again, we delve into an analysis or an editorial or both. Tonight is one of those such nights where the president has done his first major reshuffle in 7 years as a president. So we're jumping in to tell you what on earth could have led him to do this reshuffle at this 9th or 11th hour. Who are the new faces? Who is leaving government? And what does all of this mean? We'll be right back with more. Stay with us. Welcome back. So tonight, the President, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, has written to Parliament with a list. He's asked for his new ministers to be vetted by Parliament. He's also announced that some of the ministers are leaving office. And all of this is happening within a very short time. My colleague, Samiri Afi, who's been covering this president all the time from opposition, is joining me to go into the analysis. Sami, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Is it correct to say that President Akufo-Addo has not done a reshuffle, a major one, until now?
This is a major one. This is a major one since assuming office in 2017.
Wow.
There have been little ones. We won't call them major, but this is a major one which is affecting ministers and deputy ministers.
So this is Akufo-Addo's first major reshuffle?
Yes.
In his 7th year as president?
7th year as president. And I'm reliably informed this is part 1. We expect part 2 and part 3.
Wow.
By March, everything will be done.
Why hasn't he done a reshuffle properly since 2017?
Well, he has publicly said that he doesn't believe in reshuffle. And that he believes in the U.S. system where if you're appointed as a minister, you're allowed the time and space to deliver per your mandate that you've been given. And so he doesn't really believe in reshuffle. In time past, there have been calls on him too, but he has stood on his ground and said that he doesn't believe in reshuffle.
So why has he decided to do this at this time?
The pressure has become too much. You have party people talking about it. You have opposition elements, advisors, everybody talking about it. The biggest one was in December, when the general secretary of the party that gave birth to the government, publicly at an event called on the president to reshuffle some of his ministers and appointees because they were making the government unpopular.
He said this publicly?
Publicly,
Just
at the party headquarters, at the party Thanksgiving.
So a press briefing?
It was the annual Thanksgiving.
He called on the president to do a reshuffle?
The vice president was seated at this particular event. And then he called on the president to reshuffle not only ministers, not only deputy, even CEOs and the rest, because some of them were sabotaging the party and some of them were making the party unpopular. And if the party wanted to break the 8, as they are seeking to, it's about time the president cracks the whip.
So this is a political election decision?
Yes.
It's not necessarily a governance decision?
No, it was a political decision because look at some of the appointments which you will go into, then you realize that is purely politics.
Wow. So the president has been pressurized to do a major reshuffle.
Of course.
So if Akufo-Addo had his way, he would have kept his ministers till he hands over.
Yes, because he has said that he doesn't believe in reshuffle.
That's interesting. All right, so he released, it's like 2 statements. The first one was those who are leaving. So can you show us those who are leaving? Okay, so those and then we'll go to those who are coming in.
So in a statement signed by the Director of Communication, Eugene, who is also aspiring to be a member of Parliament, he released the list. And the first one talks about those who are leaving government.
Those who are leaving government. And these guys are leaving their ministerial positions permanently.
They won't.
Except this gentleman.
Ambrose Derry, yes. Ambrose has been appointed as a Minister of State at the office of the President. And so in that particular mandate, the President can assign you anywhere that he wishes you.
He doesn't want him to leave government.
He doesn't want him to
leave
government.
He likes his experience. He's one of his most trusted people.
Yes. I served as Interior Minister for over 7 years. Was a former deputy minority leader when the party was in opposition. So has been in this space for a long while. So
is he still in Parliament?
He's still in Parliament. He won his parliamentary. He went unopposed in the Nandon constituency.
We'll take it one by one. It seems to me, looking at this, that the longest serving ministers are the people at the bottom.
Yes.
And then these are the newer ones. Again, there's another thing. These 4 have not been touched since 2017.
Yes.
So health...
Ever since they were appointed, Health Ministry, Roads and Highways, and Mwakwata Terminator, as we call him, Ken Oforiatta. But there's a mystery around Ken. Several calls on the president to sack him. Members of Parliament on the majority side held a press conference asking the president to let him go. And
the president didn't let him go alone. All of them went with him.
I remember the
president
said...
So you think that for some people, So this is the biggest story.
The biggest story
is the finance minister.
Yes, because the president had defended him several times. I remember joining the president on one of his regional tours, and he was acting in a radio interview. And he said, Ken has done well. When the government was doing well between 2017 and 2020, it was him who was in the helm of affairs. So he believes that he will turn things around in the current economic space. And so he doesn't see the need to change him.
He's not a member of parliament.
No, he's not a member of parliament.
But he's very close to the president.
Very, very.
So this is probably the most painful for the president.
Yes, it was. I'm told it was a very tough and difficult decision for him.
Will he have any role in government? Or is
I understand the president may give him another appointment within the space.
But not a ministerial appointment?
Not a ministerial, maybe more or less an advisor or an advisor to the president on economic matters and the rest. But that particular announcement will be made later.
So, viewers, to make this easy for us, the people at the bottom, 7 years, 7 years, 7 years, 7 years in the same position.
Yeah.
But there's something different about this guy.
So, then in the first term of the MPP, General, they call him, one respected individual.
Former General Secretary.
Within the MPP space. In the first term of the MPP, he was Minister for Regional Reorganization when the Akufo-Addo government wanted to create new regions. He was the gentleman who was spearheading this particular drive. Now, that was done. And so, come the second term, the president appointed him as the local government minister. So, in government, he will serve 7 years.
So, he's also a long-term.
He's also a long-term
we need to say that a few weeks ago, his deputy was elevated to a minister of state.
Yes.
So, that suggested to us that he was on his way out of government. So, that's Danko Akufo-Addo.
That's Danko Akufo-Addo.
So, these are 5 of Akufo-Addo's most trusted ministers going. What about the people up here? Why is Awal going? Because Awal became a minister in the first term he was a minister.
First, Minister for Business Development.
First term.
First term, under the office of the president. Second term, he was Minister of Tourism. Delivered well within the tourism space. He was well respected. Year of Return, played an active role in all these things.
Year of Return was in the second.
It was in the first term, yeah. But then beyond the return, as they called it, he was part of those who were spearheading. So it came to many as surprising that the president has defended him in one way or the other as doing a very good job. As to why he's changing him, the president only has that particular reason.
So you say that all of this is not surprising.
Yes.
This is a bit of a mystery.
A mystery to a lot of people.
Is it fair to say this is not surprising?
Yes, because Fidel came in not too long ago, I think somewhere June, July last year, to replace Cecilia Dapa when her scandal broke. She was then a Minister of State at the office of the President. In the second term, the President appointed her as a Minister of State at the Ministry of Works and Housing. And then he moved her to the Jubilee House as a Minister of State. And so when the Cecilia Dapa's issue came up, the president appointed
sent there.
Her as the sanitation minister. So she was there.
She hasn't even had the chance to do anything.
Like 6 months now, and then reshuffle took place.
Can we say that her loss to Gideon Buako in the Tanon North primary could have contributed to this?
It played a major role because if you look at all those who lost their position, including deputy ministers, all of them lost their primaries.
So we'll come to that. So it looks like one of the themes we are seeing is that if you lost your primaries,
the more reason why I said earlier, some of the appointments were political appointments.
So this is looking like if you don't have a stake in 2024 election, you don't have to be a minister.
You don't have to be in parliament. Give way to someone who has...
This guy has a stake.
Yes.
This guy is not going back.
No, he's not going.
This guy has a stake.
He's not going.
Not going back. She's not going. Yes. What about...
She's not going back. She lost her primaries, and the issue is still in court.
This is the Wale Wale.
The Wale Wale, a member of parliament.
By the way, Wale Wale is the vice president's hometown.
And she's a cousin to the vice president as well.
And she lost her primaries.
She lost her primaries to someone who works at the office of the vice president, Kabiru Mahama.
So this is the vice president's cousin?
Yes. And the matter is in court because she's challenging...
Because we're also seeing the point around if you lost an election primary means that you don't really have a stake in...
No.
But she's the vice president's cousin.
Yes.
From the vice president's hometown.
Yes.
So we'll think about that. This gentleman was a minister in Kufuor.
In Kufuor's time.
First term, he wasn't minister.
No.
He became minister in the second term.
In second term.
He never became
After
MP.
winning the Sehuyo seat. A seat he's been contesting since 2004.
He won only once.
Won only once. And then lost again. And then this time around, won in the 2022
He replaced Frimpong Boateng.
Frimpong Boateng at that ministry. At the first time, Frimpong Boateng was a minister at that particular sector.
So why is he going? Do we know?
Well, he decided not to contest again as a member of parliament. The more reason why the president thought it was wise to replace him with someone else who was seeking another election.
I was looking to make a generalization about age, but it's difficult for me to do this because there isn't... These people are mostly above 60, by the way. So Damboche is above 60. Ajimamino above 60, above 60, above 60, above 60. But I don't think she's above 60.
No, she's not.
I don't think she's above 60.
No.
He's above 60.
Yes.
Is Awal above 60?
Awal is within that range.
Why is this guy going?
Well, he's when the OT region was created, he was the first regional minister for the region. My information is that in recent time there have been some issues within the Nkwanta area, which resulted in some casualties and the rest. According to reports from the National Security, I think the handling of this issue didn't go well.
And he's a regional minister.
So
it's like he's being sacked for that.
So he's taking responsibility for that action or what.
Because he's the first minister with disability in this government.
Yes.
Just a final point on this before we move. He had a big problem during COVID. Parliament wanted him out. So you can say this and this are the survivors because they've had a lot of clamor for them to go. Why do you think this guy is going? Because Akufo-Addo seems to like this guy.
Yes, I'm reliably informed, had told the president personally that due to health reasons, he may wish to step down.
So he's personally stepping down?
His is personal. He had told the president for health reasons, he wants to step down from that position. He's not contesting again after this parliament ends. And so he wants to leave politics in general and concentrate on other things.
So if you are doing an editorial on the top 3 stories, Kenuforiata is leaving government number 1, Ajimamino is leaving government number 2, which will be your 3rd biggest story?
Awal. Yeah.
Because he hasn't done anything wrong.
No.
The other point about this is that Dr. Bawumia is the leader of the party now. And so your likelihood of staying has to do with whether you are aligned with him.
Aligned to him or not.
And I think Awal is aligned,
Yeah,
which is surprising that he's going.
So
if you want to give a Genesis story to do, find out where Awal is going. Maybe he's going to work in his office, you don't know. All right, what's the next thing? We're going to look at what next. The new guys.
So when we look at the new members or the
incoming.
Okay.
Or what are we doing
Let's put it that way. So we're looking at the new faces.
The new faces.
The new faces or the individual who are replacing those who are leaving. For want of a better
this is not what we want. We want the people who are replacing the first guys. This is not what we want. We want the people replacing the first guys. This is what we want to see. So we're talking about the heavyweights now. So
these are the reassigned ministers.
I thought you had a like-for-like replacement. Okay.
So these are reassigned.
Okay, let's take it one by one. Kenuforiata is leaving government. Who's replacing him? Amin. All right. Then Kwaku Ajimamino is leaving government. His replacement is Okoboy. He's not on the same slide.
Yeah. But Oko has served as a deputy minister in that particular ministry before. And so it's more or less like homecoming for him when it comes to the health ministry.
Damboche is local government. He's been replaced by his deputy.
By Martin Ejie Mensah-Kosa. They work closely. When the president brought in the regional reorganization, Martin was Damboche's deputy at that particular ministry. And in terms of the MPP issues, Martin served as a director of elections for the MPP at the party headquarters. Worked closely with Damboche at that time at the party headquarters, who more or less knows a bit of more issues when it comes to the MPP. He was appointed deputy to Damboche in that ministry for reorganization. And when Dan was appointed the minister for local government, Martin was appointed as a deputy to him.
Basically like Damboche's number 2. So we'll come to Amin later. He was a minister of state. So it was a bit like the Damboche. We know that Ken was going to leave.
Yes.
And therefore he was elevated to do the parliamentary work. So it's not a surprise that he's the minister.
No, yes, it's not surprising because Amin came in when the president fired
Charles Edouboahin as Minister of State.
As Minister of State. That was when Amin was elevated to that particular post or came to replace him at that ministry. Now Ken leaving and him coming is more or less like he's there already. We are just bringing him.
So we're doing the handing over.
Yeah.
All right. I'll come to Amin later. There are lateral movements. This gentleman, Greater Accra to Interior.
Yes. And
no surprise there?
No surprise. He served at that ministry in the first term of Akufo-Addo government as a deputy minister to Ambrose Derry.
Oh, so he's gone back to a ministry he knows.
Back to the same
so it's a bit like Okoboy.
Yes, gone back to the same
ministry he knows.
Yes, he knows very well. Has worked in that ministry for 4 years and knows the rudiments within that particular sector. So
I like this guy.
I like
what he tried
is a
to
good
do.
guy.
I like this guy.
And he's one of the serious ministers, if you ask me personally. One of the serious ministers. He wants to get a job
How
done.
does the president see him?
He likes him. The president likes him a lot. He really, really likes him a lot.
But is he going to... So let's do the parliament thing. Is this guy still going to
Yes,
contest?
He's MP for Karaga. He went unopposed. Henry, the same thing. He was contested, but then won handsomely.
So he has a stake in the election?
Yes. As I saw the same Bantama, he has a
He won his primary.
He won his primaries. Kojo Oponkoma won in the Fosso Yerbi constituency.
Unopposed?
No, he was contested by 2 other candidates.
But he still won.
But he won handsomely. Ambrose went unopposed in his primary. Martin also went unopposed.
Wow. So all these guys
in parliament.
we will be on the ballot.
Yes, come the December election.
So this looks like a very election-based reshuffle.
Remember what I told you from the beginning, this particular appointment was more or less a political appointment.
But that's troubling, right? I mean, I don't know what to say, but anyway. So these are lateral. Information to works and housing. We'll discuss this. Works and housing to roads.
Yes. Replacing Amakwata.
So elevation, lateral. Why is this guy still in government?
So the president has appointed him as a minister of state at the presidency.
He doesn't want him to go.
He doesn't want to leave. That position is more or less like, I'm sending you here. Go and represent me here. Go and do this for me. Go and do this on my behalf.
So the president really likes him?
He does.
He's from the Upper West region?
Yes. And he went unopposed. He won his primaries, but he's not serving as the interior minister again. Has been there for the past 7 years.
Very experienced guy. Yeah, Well, we're on the point of view tonight. We're trying to understand or work into the mind of His Excellency the President. This is his first major reshuffle in 7 years. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? Since he took that brown book that he wrote names in and released the list, this is the first time somebody like Ajimai Menu, Kenoforiata, Amakwanta have left office. So very big stories there. These are the ministers taking over in terms of the reassigned ministers. But there's also another group of incoming. You call them the new faces.
The new faces.
So let's go into that, the new faces. And those are the ministers who are also taking substantive ministerial roles.
Yes, from deputy ministers to main ministers.
And some of them are from outsiders coming in.
Yes.
All right, so let's start from Titus Glover.
Titus has served in government before. The first term of Akufo-Addo, he was deputy transport minister.
Okay.
He lost his Tema East parliamentary bid and was recently, or I think last year, appointed to Valco as CEO or deputy CEO.
He ran for national organizer.
He ran for national organizer of the MPP.
Lost narrowly.
Lost to Nanabi.
He actually entered a race late. Some people thought he could have won.
Yes. And then that was the race that gave Nanabi a run for his money. And he thought that he was going to lose until votes from the Ashanti region came. That helped him win that particular slot again.
Is he going to attend for parliament again? Tema East MPP. Tema East is now the current MCE.
Yes, but I'm not so sure.
So the current MCE for Tema, I think he's...
I think he was going to contest. He's going to be in the
So the current MCE for Tema is going to run for MPP.
In the Tema East constituency.
Yes.
Then Titus is not far.
It's not far.
Yeah, it's not far in that particular
it's a prosec, I forget his name. Okay, this man is Andre Japan Mesa.
Yes.
He's a substantive minister now.
Yes.
So he's replacing Enricote, this guy, Titus Glover.
Yes, as Greater Accra Regional Minister.
Japan Mesa is deputy minister for
energy.
And he's now becoming substantive tourism. MP for Sekondi.
Yes.
So he's going to... Did he win his primaries?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He won. And he's going back to parliament. If the people of Sekondi decide to vote for him again...
We'll discuss him shortly.
December poll.
Talk to me about Lydia
Lassa. My member of parliament, I also West Wagon. Okay. That's where I am. And then is the deputy majority chief whip. There are two of them. So
she's in parliamentary leadership.
Yes. So Lydia and Habib Idrisu are the two deputy whips. So Lydia comes in. She's a pharmacist, one way or the other.
Pharmacist.
And an entrepreneur. Has been an MP for Ayahuasca West Wagon since 2009.
She came by election when the husband, the Ejako,
yes.
Who's also a pharmacist.
Yes. And she's been a bankroller of the husband, the late husband, when he was in politics. Yes. I'll say bankroller because...
Let's go through this. So she was a member of the Chamber of Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Former vice chair, pharmaceutical importers and wholesalers. So she was an entrepreneur in pharmacy.
Yes. More or less runs a pharmaceutical company while we were there.
No, I mean, because pharmacy is a professional thing, you can't say. So she won her primaries?
The gentleman who was contesting him was disqualified. So she went unopposed.
So what ministry has she been given?
Sanitation, replacing Frida Prempe.
So it's almost like that ministry is for women. Frida, so we had the, what's the name? She's Adapa, Frida Prempe, Lydia. So she's a new face ministerially.
Yes. This is the first time she's serving in government.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sanitation and water
resources.
So let's go back to the newcomers and just take a closer look at them again. Who else is coming in?
Dakwa Newman.
Ooh. MP for where?
MP for Okankwe South, I guess.
So this
yes,
is
Okankwe South.
Kaneshi.
Yes, Kaneshi area. The daughter of Victor Newman, very close friend to the
late
president.
Victor Newman.
Late Victor Newman, a very close friend, a former director
First-time
of research.
MP.
Yes, first-time member of parliament. She came, yes, first-time member of parliament. She's done well for her constituency.
And she's been given which ministry now?
She's going to the Gender, Children and Social Protection
So
Ministry.
Adwoa Safo Gender Minister
Yes.
to Lariba
Yes.
and now to
yes,
Darkwa.
Darkwa.
So again, reserved for women.
Yes.
Wow.
Many people have said that she's really done well for the constituency. Went unopposed in the last primaries of the party. Brought quite a number of significant developments.
Is she the person who
catchment
beat
area.
Ahmed Arthur?
Yes, in that primaries of 2000, I think before the 2020 election, yeah.
So she beat Ahmed Arthur?
Yes, in that particular primaries. She's relatively young.
38?
38 years old. In that.
So this is the gender minister nominee,
Yes.
Darkwa Newman. So you call her a new face?
She'll go through vetting. If Parliament approves her, she becomes the member, the minister for that particular ministry.
I have the same alma mater with her. So
Yeah,
University of
I see
Ghana,
Warwick.
University of Warwick. There are actually 2 University of Warwick people on the ticket because Titus Global is also a Warwick University person. So this is a fresh face.
Fresh face.
She won her primaries.
She won.
Interesting.
She won.
So let's go back to who else is coming. Just be clear. Second D, so Western region.
Yes.
Greater
Ayo
Accra
Asore
region.
from Greater Accra.
Greater Accra region.
Fatih is not a member of parliament.
But she's going to become the
The new Minister of Information.
Wow.
Replacing Kojo Opo-Kroma in that ministry. She serves as the Deputy Director of Communications at the presidency during the first term of the Akufo-Addo administration.
Wow.
And in the second term, she was made a Deputy Minister for Information. Now she's going to become the main minister for that particular
So
sector.
apparently, Fatih was in the Akufo-Addo team in 2012, 2016, before Deputy Director. So she's actually risen.
She's really at a point, I think she was one of the campaign aides to the president when he was.
She's very articulate.
Very, very.
And I think the substantive minister allowed her to
the free
shine.
to work. Yes.
Yeah, because I think since she became Deputy Minister, she's been managing the Meet the Press pretty admirably. She's a lawyer now, we are told. So she was in the legal team as well for the election.
During the election petition.
Interesting. For the current election petition, the one that, wow. So she's a lawyer and entrepreneur, Deputy Information Minister, and was Kojo Opo-Kroma's number 2. Also relatively young.
Yeah.
38 years old. So similar to Darkwa Newman. Quite eloquent as well in P and that kind of thing. Wow. So
and
she's the new Information
Minister
Minister designate.
Yes.
Information Minister designate. Wow, interesting choice. Have we had a Minister Information who's a woman?
Yes, Zito Kankwe. During
NDC.
the late Atamil's administration.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Information Minister being a woman changes the dynamic. It's like she's articulate.
But it's a tough ministry, Bernard. If you ask me, it's really a tough. Managing government communication has always been very, very tough. You speak to Kojo Opo-Kroma off camera.
Yeah.
He tells you some of the challenges they go through. Sometimes you need information from other ministries
Yeah.
to add up to your briefing, and the information don't come. You are frustrated.
I also think that because the nature of information has changed. You know, if you're Information Minister in 1988, it's different from 2020, whatever, because now social media is there. There's all kinds of things going on. There's fake news, disinformation. So it's a very complex work. If in the past, you just need to be GBC Graphic, Ghanaian Times. You're okay.
good to go.
So this is more complex.
Yeah.
So she brings legal, but she's not going for parliament.
No.
Why not?
She's never made an attempt to run for parliament. I've asked her that question before. He said she was not interested.
Because we thought she grew up in Ashanti region.
Yes. Speak fluently. Very, very.
Or she doesn't seem to think there's a seat that she can win.
I've asked her several times on this particular matter, and she said she's not really interested in.
But then your
going to
theory
parliament.
about people who have a stake in the election may not necessarily apply to her. Because you're saying that, go back to the list, guys, go back to the list. So you're saying she has a stake, she has a stake, he has a stake.
Yes.
He has a stake,
Yes. She
has a stake.
Yes.
So these two don't have stake in the primaries, parliamentary elections.
Yes.
All right, so let's stay here. Which ministry is this?
Ophelia is going to the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation, replacing Kweku, Dr. Kweku Efie at that ministry.
She also came by election.
By-election after the death of her husband. Has been in Parliament for some time now. But a lot of people have said that, you know, she was a police officer. I don't know if she's resigned though, but I'm sure by now she has resigned.
Go on.
She was a police officer before, you know, running for the primaries to replace the husband.
We understand she worked in the Interpol unit.
Interpol unit of the
27
CIA.
years.
Yeah.
And she was a UN police something advisor.
Yes.
So she's risen in the police thing.
To reach where she is now.
So her husband was killed.
Yes.
And she came by election, similar to Lydia Sarah Malasa.
Yes.
Actually, hold on. So we actually have a number of MPs. So you have the MP for Shai Osudoku, Okulu, husband dies, wins a primary by-election. Sarah Malasan, husband dies, wins a by-election. Ophelia Iford, husband dies, wins a by-election. So that's a trend.
Yeah.
That's a trend.
But there are many who have questioned, you know, this appointment. Bernard, I'm saying that a policewoman, security-wise, what is she moving her to a ministry like Environment, Science and Technology? The switch. Many have said that maybe it's not her field. But then others have argued that you learn on the job. But others have said that with just 10 months to an election.
So what is Akufo-Addo doing here? we need to know. What is the president explain? We don't understand. We are not saying she's not competent. We don't know.
She's very competent.
What
very,
is trying
very
to do? Is he trying to just say that
with a security background and moving to technology, science, and technology, the switch 10 months to an election? How she going to start in with a fast-paced how technology is moving in?
I'm not sure.
Well,
be a political science, linguistics, LLB criminal law. Well, we'll see. Look, this is the point of view. Tonight, we're just trying to give you some insights into the various things, the new faces coming in, some of the outgoing people. We also have one for you on those who stayed. So in always analyzing, we tell you what the president did not do. There are some people he didn't touch at all. Why didn't he touch those people? And then we'll tell you more about the incoming people because we have some more information on them. This looks like an election-based reshuffle, but what will it mean? Stay with us.
Your health is in your hands, but at some point, it passes on to us. At Mintuba Hospital and Coloproctology Center, we believe that quality healthcare isn't a privilege, it's a right. Equipped with cutting-edge technology, we are fully prepared to effectively deal with all colorectal and proctological conditions. Our team of highly skilled doctors, surgeons, and nurses are renowned for their expertise in minimally invasive and painless laser, ligature, and lungoproctological surgery. We are committed to providing a wide range of services to meet the diverse needs of our patients. Mintuba Hospital, your health is our priority. Visit Mintuba Hospital today or call us at 0244 581 541 or 0271 054 204. Mintuba Hospital, in to serve a peculiar health need.
I love President Charcoal. Why?
When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste.
That's both charcoal and lemon.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Pepsodent.
Upgrade with your recoded GCB mobile app and do more with ease. Send and receive funds seamlessly. Your recoded GCB mobile app is fast. Use it to pay all bills and enjoy the convenience. No worries. Top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters easily. Your GCB mobile app makes that possible with this smart card reader.
Chalet top the app.
Live your life, make it better. No matter where you gone, you don't need no account.
Pay your subscriptions and fees to over 150 merchants. It is safe and timely.
Mobile. yeah, so easy. No worry, no stress.
All transactions on GCB mobile app are smooth. GCB mobile app, upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for interns. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
After your son line, ting.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download the app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Me, Seth, I'm starting work next month.
Welcome back. Tonight on A Point of View, we're breaking down the nominees for new ministerial roles. About 13 substantive ministers are leaving. This is the president's major reshuffle in his 7 years as president. Big names. Ken Ofori-Atta is leaving government. Kwesi Appiah is leaving government. Dr. Kufuor is leaving government. His Minister for Interior is staying in government but is getting a new role. Other names that are leaving government. Kwesi Appiah, Minister for Roads, is leaving government. Dambotre is leaving government, as is Ibrahim Awal. Here are the names going. Frida Prempeh, Lariba Abudu, and Joseph Makabu. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 big names going out. Second big story, who are the incoming faces? Big ones here: Titus Glover for Regional Minister, Greater Accra; Ijapa Mensah for Tourism; Lydia Alassane for Sanitation; and Dakwani Iman for Gender. Now, you can say these are second-rate ministries. Yeah. If you want to look at substantive, high-level ministry, health, environment, information, big ones. So these are the new faces coming in, as well as OT. This is not too big. So probably this is something we'll discuss soon. We ended up here. Yeah. I'll come to this guy shortly, but who is this guy? What's happening here?
Well, Daniel is the one going to replace the OT regional minister. Remember I said earlier that due to recent issues that happened in that area, the president thought that it wasn't, proper to still keep the regional minister.
So it's more like this is not really a major thing?
No, it's not really a major thing. So he's just going to replace the OT regional minister.
So let's now move to the... I'll come to Okoboy later. I'll do substantive ministers. Just show me now the deputies who are going, because there seems to be a certain storyline. Apart from the big faces going in the first one, there's also those who are going as deputies who are leaving. And I'm told that there's a very interesting trend. All right? Good. So what's happening here?
Well, Ben, if you look at all the individuals here, they are leaving government. And
they are all leaving
Parliament and government. Because they were all deputy ministers.
Okay.
The president decided to leave them out in this latest reshuffle. So they will not serve in their various ministries again.
But you're saying they are leaving government because they are leaving Parliament? Because they are not going to go back to Parliament, which is why they are being sacked?
Yes. So maybe
all of them?
All of them. And I'm saying government and Parliament, looking at the two different entities.
Fair enough.
Yes. So Charles was the...
Collins in team.
Collins in team lost his parliamentary primaries in, I think, Offenso South constituency or so, and the president decided not to keep him again at the local government ministry. He was served with Martin and J. Mensah Kosa as the two deputies.
And Martin is Techiman South.
Yes.
There was a court case and he won.
Yes, he won.
He's maintained.
He went unopposed in the last primaries.
But Collins lost.
Collins lost in that particular primaries.
So because you can't say Martin did a better job than Collins.
No.
It's simply because he's not going to Parliament. So he's been sacked.
And the main reason why all these people are not retaining their positions in government is because they lost in their primaries. Or decided not to contest. Amma was deputy communications minister. She lost in the primaries in the Dwabin constituency in the Ashanti region.
So this is a mistake. So this is communication.
She was
not
deputy
sanitation.
communications minister.
So she's going.
She's going in the Jobbing constituency.
Tina Mensah.
Tina is going Wejagbawe constituency.
She lost the primaries.
She lost the primaries
to
who? To Jerry Ahmed Shaib, who is the CEO of the Coastal Development.
So you lose your primaries, you lose your deputy ministerial position.
Because the president realized that indeed you are not going to serve in the government again. You are not going to serve in parliament again. Let's bring
but that's
new
strange.
people.
So are you supposed to be? Do you need to be an MP to be an effective deputy minister?
Well, in the current system that we practice, Bernard, you have to. And to catch the president's eye, you must be a member of parliament.
I find that interesting. I didn't even know this guy until today. Like deputy minister for health?
Oh, yeah.
MP
he used to work with the GRA. I think he's MP for Daboya.
Daboya Mankarigo.
Yes. And he lost in the prime. Was also deputy minister
for health.
The more reason why the president was criticized that you appoint 3 ministers at the health ministry, none of them has a medical background. In a ministry that's supposed to be...
is an accountant. Tina Mensah is not a doctor.
Tina is not, Tina has a different profession. And Mohammed, we understand, was working with the GRA as a taxman.
Maybe he wants money in the health ministry. So he wants.
But the president, even the day he was appointing Ajimai Menu at the Jubilee House, I was present. He said that the main issue with the health ministry had to do with the health insurance, the national health insurance, because there was no money. So he's appointing Ajimai Menu, accountant, to help with the inflows of funds.
So has he succeeded there?
Well, the president can tell us about that.
I like this guy because he's more. He's very
face
visible.
when
He
it comes
speaks
to
to
labor.
media a lot.
Yes.
So he's been what has he done wrong?
It was surprising. He lost the primaries. He lost the primaries to the CEO of the Exim Bank.
So his crime is that he lost primaries?
He lost primaries.
Wow.
He lost the primaries.
And this is in the central region?
I think Hema Dentra.
Hema Lower Dentra.
In one of the constituencies.
I kind of like him. He's very good with the media. Yes. He gives good interviews.
He's always talking for government when it comes to labor issues with these organized labor.
This is surprising because this guy worked with Amewu as his deputy.
Yes.
And continued with Abu
Jinapo. He decided not to contest the primaries again.
Oh, so he opted out.
He didn't lose. He decided not to contest because he's been in parliament since 2008 or so.
Long-term
so he decided
MP.
not to run.
I wonder why he was never made a main minister. I wonder why. Because he has a degree in land economics, first class.
So he's currently...
And very understated, but solid guy. I wonder... politics is funny. Somebody like him, Obi Amwa, have never been substantive ministers. But for those of us who work in the media, we find them pretty cool. Yeah. So I don't know. Why is Gifty Chumanpofu leaving?
Gifty lost in the primaries.
So lose primaries, you go home?
Yes.
Wow. This is Ebuakwa North.
Ebuakwa North. Oreku also decided not to contest again. So the more reason why he's leaving.
So it's funny. Oreku is the guy on the power side.
Yes.
Mensah is the guy on the
So the two of them were in the
he's a really decent guy. I'm surprised. Why? So he chose not to go to parliament anymore. Wow. So who's replacing him?
I'll get that name. It's not off head.
Because we know that Herbert Krapper at some point was deputy energy, but he went to deputy trade.
Trade ministry.
All right. Moses a name?
Moses lost in the primaries. Deputy fisheries minister lost in the primaries to the name of the lady just escaped me. He lost to a lady in the Trobo Amasaman. In the Trobo.
So 9 deputy ministers are being asked to go home.
Yes.
Because
they lost in the primaries.
Now that's shocking.
That's the main reason. Because the president believes that if you're not coming back to parliament, why would you also be in government? Then let's get people who go back to parliament to come and serve in your position.
So this is a very election-based.
Yes.
So the first trend we've seen is MPs who lost primaries are going. MPs who are not seeking re-election, because you mentioned Benito is going. And I think there's also an age issue here.
Yes.
If you go, can you go back to the people?
The old guys.
The old guys. I just want to look at some age issues here. So the old guard who are leaving government, they are all above 60.
Yes.
Except possibly Frida and Lariba. So all the men are about, and this guy as well. So he's kicking out old men.
Yes.
Let's look at the incoming people and see their ages. So the first
new faces.
The new faces. Show me the new faces. I just want to do some age issue here. So these guys are all leaving because they are old.
Yeah.
Show me the incoming guys, and let me just check something.
Relatively young.
38, 54, 50, 50-something, 38, 50, 41. 42.
Yeah.
He doesn't look that old. So she's the oldest.
Yeah.
So you can see an average of like 40-something. So he's bringing... Okay, go to the reassigned. Let me see something. The reassigned faces. 41, 42, early 40s.
Same range. This one could be around late 50s. Or 60?
No, I think it's 50-something. It's not late. It's not late 50s. This guy's 49.
Yeah.
Almost 50. This guy's old.
Martin is young. Martin will be in his late 40s.
So again, he's bringing younger people. So maybe Bawumia synergy, we don't know. All right. Let's talk about those who have not been reshuffled before we come to specifics. All right.
They still hold on to
what is going on here?
So these are untouched ministers. But we can't say untouched for now because there's part 2 and part 3 coming. Maybe they may be affected in the part 2 and part 3. But for now, per the list that the president released, signed by Reassigned, this set of ministers were not moved at all. They remain in their respective positions.
You know the funny thing? These people are younger than the first group who were kicked out. The guys at the bottom are all old. This guy is in his 50s, 40s, late 40s. I don't know how old she is. I don't know. So I don't know this, but this guy is also pretty young. Mm-hmm. So could you say the president was also looking at keeping some of the younger people and sacking the old guys?
A blend of the young and the old to complete the face of government.
But there was also a narrative around those who will Bawumia or prefer, because some people feel like this is a Bawumia reshuffle. Mm-hmm. So let's look at the Bawumia credentials of these people. So Educhum is obviously gunning for running mate, so he's there. So I mean, these three shouldn't be surprising, right?
Not at all.
This is the MP. This is the minister from Bawumia's side.
Yes.
He's MP for Yagaba Kubori, which is just a neighboring constituency, Wale Wale. Mm-hmm. So you can say he's a Bawumia guy. These two guys all want to be Bawumia's running mate.
Guys.
This guy is a new guy.
Yes.
Because he was brought in recently.
Just last year when Akoto-Efie resigned to run for his presidential.
So actually, Katie Amon is missing on this file. Katie Amon should be here as well.
Yes.
So he and Katie are... Some people... I actually feel he and Katie have been quite fresh. Yeah, I mean, he and Katie Amon have brought some
new freshness into the ministry.
Yes, I prefer him to the guy he took over from. And I think Katie Amon too has brought some... Although he's not succeeded with the import thing,
to the extent that yesterday, the former Agric minister, Dr. Akoto, was even asking KTs to still go ahead and push the LI because to him as an Agric minister and someone who is into Agric, it was important we restrict some importation.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the performance of Brian and Katie could have influenced the president to say that the kind of energy they've been working with since they took over has been more... You get it? It's like it's different. So you can tell that there's.
Yes.
So the hope is that these guys will bring fresh fire.
Yes.
Because the other their fire is dead.
Yes. So, and I want to subscribe to that particular.
So Brian and Katie brought fresh fire.
Yes, because if you look at Brian until his appointment as minister, he's brought a lot of changes within the ministry. Yeah. He's all over the place, championing.
He's met. I've been at programs where he's met donors, he's met farmers, he's met bankers, and you can tell that he has something he wants to do.
Recently, he held, I think, a summit for farmers at Kempisi where he's pushing for the local banks to consider more loans to local farmers to ensure food security in the country. So he's been pushing in that direction.
Why is he still in government?
Godfrey Dami, he's done fantastically well as Attorney General. I want to believe so. Why the president decided to keep him there?
Because he's not that old.
No, he's not.
He's a young guy.
He's not.
But he's not an MP.
He's not an MP. In the first time, he was deputy AG. And then in the second time, the president elevated him to become...
Let's test your theory about remaining in parliament to see if the theory works here. Is this guy still going to be in parliament? As in, is he going to contest?
He went unopposed in the last primaries.
Is this guy?
Same.
This guy?
Same.
This guy?
Same.
This madam?
Was contested by one.
Will she be on the...
Yes, she was contested by one, not a member of parliament. Member of parliament. Not a member of parliament.
So apart from these two,
all of them are members of parliament.
Your theory is strong. So if you don't have a stake in the election, you are out.
No. You are definitely out, Ben.
I'm surprised he stays because he's positioned as, and I could be wrong, a Kennedy Japong person. I didn't see him come to campaign for him, so I can't say that.
No, yeah.
But people feel like he's close to him.
And in all the primaries, he didn't openly show support for any of the candidates. He decided to stay back.
Which is why probably they've kept
Perhaps.
him. Which is funny because Kennedy is saying he wants this guy to run him mate. So he has not come out to say he supports anybody.
No.
But he's not that old, right?
He's not that old.
Not that old.
Not that old.
Why is he still in government?
Has done well. The president believes that he's more or less brought some stability within the Labour front until recently.
Has there ever been stability in the Labour front?
Because I think he's from the Bono region or
Sunyani West.
Sunya area there. The chiefs from his area were at the Jubilee House some time back. And the president openly said that since his appointment, he's brought some level of stability within the Labour front. So he's doing very well in that particular area. I'm sure the more reason why the president decided to keep him in that area.
She stays.
They call her Mamaga.
She stays.
Mamaga stays.
Ablekuma West.
Yes.
She stays. She's not going to go.
No.
Even the second one, she won't go.
No.
So she's like Ken. She stays.
Sick of events.
I mean, you need to admire her resilience. I mean, she's...
And she's really done well.
Yeah, she doesn't...
Since her appointment...
She can't be bullied.
An industry player, she's able to match these telcos.
But the telco sector is struggling.
Yeah.
Telcel, Vodafone, Airtel, Tigo. It would be nice to have an interview with her to find out what she thinks. We'll come back and look at some of the key people coming in and what they will bring. This is the point of view. We're basically looking at the president's first major reshuffle since he took over as president in 2017. Stay with us.
Whether it's 1924, 2024, or 2124, we've always known that you are driven by your sense of safety and well-being. It is what drives us to see you through from start to finish, from small to big. And in the last 100 years, as you have evolved, so have we also expanded to serve you in many ways. From cradle to grave, with expertise in insurance, life, pensions, properties, health, and for those beautiful memorable goodbyes. It's 2024, and in all our markets, our pedigree is recognized, our strength respected, our expertise valued, and our solutions sought by all who desire an advantage in life. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Take charge of your future now. Insurance, life, pensions, property management, funeral services, health insurance. Enterprise for your advantage.
I love President Charcoal. Why?
When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste.
That's both charcoal and lemon.
Oh, does it?
Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced?
Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Pepsodent. Have you been to Aqua Safari lately? Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resort. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castanet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Experience horseback riding, tennis, and some golfing amongst a host of other activities. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the Volta River, the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, local and exotic birds, while you pet and feed them. You can have this large space for your conferences, corporate retreats, and so many activities as part of the package. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin. We had an amazing experience and I can't wait to return for more.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Upgrade with your recoded GCB mobile app and do more with ease. Send and receive funds seamlessly. Your recoded GCB mobile app is fast. Use it to pay all bills and enjoy the convenience.
Possible today. Wherever, whenever.
No worries. Top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters easily. Your GCB mobile app makes that possible with this smart card reader.
Chalet top the app.
Live your life, make it better. No matter where you've gone, you don't need no account.
Pay your subscriptions and fees to over 150 merchants. It is safe and timely.
Mobile app, GCB mobile app. Make it so easy, no worry, no stress.
All transactions on GCB mobile app are smooth. GCB mobile app, upgrade your style. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
We are still on the point of view. Tonight we're looking at the first major reshuffle of President Akufo-Addo since he took over. Big names are leaving government. Ken Ofori-Atta is leaving government. Kwaku Agyeman-Benu is leaving government. Kwesi Amoah-Akwanta is leaving government. Dambuchu is leaving government. And a few other changes here and there. Some ministers are being elevated. Some people are being moved laterally. And we're just trying to understand the mind. It seems as if there are three issues here. If you have a stake by way of, you are on a ticket, if you are going to be on a parliamentary ticket, they'll keep you. If you lost your primary or if you opted not to run, you're going out. And if you are above 60 and you are not bringing anything, they'll just ask you to go. So let's go to now substantive. So the biggest story is Ken.
Yeah.
So if the biggest story is Ken, and the second biggest is Agyeman-Benu, then the biggest new entrant is Amin.
Yes.
And the second biggest new entrant is Okoboy. Is that correct?
Yes.
So let's talk about Amin. All right, guys, where is Amin? Show me Amin. I mean, he's an interesting guy because I have, the first time I actually interviewed this guy, I was on Radio Universe, and he was a NUC's president or something.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's moved from there to...
Mayor of Tamale.
Yes. And then he became deputy minister for the Northern region. And then at some point, he was the founder of ASEP, Civil Society.
Yeah. He and John Peter Mewu.
Yeah.
And the rest.
So he studied economics at UCC, then he did MPhil in economics, he did energy economics. So he's an energy guy, deputy energy minister.
And he's one individual you say that has really gone through the mill.
Yeah.
You know, from the base to where he has reached.
And the funny thing is when he was appointed as energy, you know, finance is now what runs energy. So Ejakun was Akufo-Addo's first energy pick. He's a finance guy.
Yeah.
So he's a financial economics guy. So he's actually an interesting character. He's not that old. He's just 49, you know. And when Charles Edubwani had his problems, he was brought in. Will Parliament like him? Will the NDC people give him? Will they worry him?
No, they won't.
He's
one of the individuals who may have a very smooth vetting if he appears before.
And the opposition will not stress
But then again, he may not, unless he may not go through vetting. No, because he's already a minister of state, so he may not go through vetting.
So he's from Tamale?
Yes.
Went Tamale Secondary School, Tamale Business School, UCC, and then Dundee, and then ASEP.
Yeah.
So you don't think there will be any opposition to this guy?
No.
He'll be okay?
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
Fantastic guy.
We had an interview with him.
He commands a lot of respect in Parliament.
Yeah.
Very fantastic guy.
I was at an event last week where he said he's a politician. Because we're talking about finance and economics. He's a politician, but he's actually an economist. Yeah. And he and Peter Mewu founded ASEP, which interestingly is doing some really good work now. So you don't foresee any problems for this guy?
Not at all.
Will the angst about Ken Ofori-Atta subside with him coming?
Yes, because they all served in the same ministry, one way or the other. Sang from the same book, if I want to put it that way.
Yeah.
The IMF negotiations and he was an integral part of it. He and Ken Ofori-Atta, one way or the other. And so you will say that, you know,
but he's seen as different. He's seen as
different person.
Because he's the guy who replaced Charles. So Charles is an investment banker like Ken.
Yes.
Abena is an accounting person.
And then comes
John Kuma is economics management. So he's actually the...
But then the accusation also come in that the president didn't appoint an outsider. He's still the same person within
No, he's not. He's not an insider, because I'll tell you something. Usually, for the Ministry of Finance, you need a good blend. So you had a finance guy, an economics guy, and then maybe some other guy. So this is actually the economics guy. Edubwani and Ken were both investment banking guys. So he's actually the economics guy. So we'll see. This is the first time the ministry is being headed by economists, because Tekwe was also a finance guy. Ken is not an economist. So the last proper economist was Akoto-Osei and Dr. Ashong.
Yeah. Yes.
Because even Banredu was not an economist.
Yeah.
Neither was Osafo Mafu. This is actually the first proper economist.
was a banker.
Yes, that's an engineer. So I'm saying this is the first economist to actually be a minister of finance. I stand to be corrected because on the NDC, okay, you had this guy too, Dufour. Dufour is also an economist.
Yes. But then
Dufour was
serving as a Bank of Ghana.
So, Dufour is an economist. Okay. So it's first economist to be minister of finance in a while. Second big story, Oko Boy. His rise has been amazing, right?
Very, very.
Because he's not even in parliament.
Very, very. Yeah. And the president likes him. The president likes him. He served in Chebi, one of the hospitals in Chebi. That's where the president got to know him. Because words went around that, there's this young doctor in this area who was doing so well. And like before he moved to...
And he became... But look at his trajectory. So he was board chair Kolebu.
Yeah.
Deputy minister, COVID. Did a pretty good job there.
Was the main go-to person.
This is a big job.
And
then now Minister of Health. I mean, this is serious.
The health insurance office and then the health ministry, they just share war.
No, I feel like this is I like this guy. I mean, he went to Presec with me. I know him very well. And I think he's a
former deputy minister for the same sector.
Solid guy.
And moving in as the main minister now. He won't find it difficult.
He needs to show that giving young people such a big role, he will not disappoint. So it's a surgeon.
But then again, the accusation is always that Okoboy comes in at the last minute.
What can
Remember
he do?
when he was appointed deputy health minister, he came in
at the last minute.
At the last minute when it was going to election, and it's the same situation, as of now. We just hope and pray that he may bring.
So the two biggest,
significant,
Amin and Okoboy, because they are the two big elevations. Yeah. So a lot we'll see what he can do. But if you look at his trajectory, Kolebu, deputy NHIA, you can see where.
And he even wrote a book about Kolebu. When he was the board chair.
Kolebu, they all write books. So
the monster, I think the monster.
Taming the monster. Who else do you have here, guys? Who else is big here, just to go through, if I haven't done anybody? Okay, we know this guy.
Harry.
Great Accra now to
Great guy.
National Security. We know him a lot. Who else do you have for me to see?
Kojo.
He's moving to
the Ministry for Water, Ministry of Works and Housing.
So it's a lateral movement.
Yeah.
So no big issue there. Also young, 41.
Yeah.
41, pretty young. Broadcaster as well. Interesting. And then, of course, a lawyer, and then a company guy. What else do we have? Lawyer. He was working in a bank, First Atlantic Bank.
Head of legal.
He has his own chambers. Secondly. So all these guys are going to attend for parliament still.
Yes.
He's just 50. So also youth is on. Okay, 50 is youth. Ghana.
50 youth?
Ghana, even if you assisted, you are youth. Let's move on. Asenso Bachi.
Asenso has done well for
So it's a lateral movement.
Yeah.
From works and housing to
roads and highways, replacing Kwesi Amwakota.
So TESCON to politics, Akufo-Addo's aide.
Assistant to the president,
chief of staff,
deputy chief of staff,
Bantama.
And now minister, MP.
He did planning. 46, KNUST. Michigan State, interesting. 46. Who else is there? Are we done? Titus Glover, 57, or that year. All right, is that it? And this guy is Greater Accra.
Yes, Greater Accra Regional Minister.
Tema. Wow. And he's the only person who's not really going back to Parliament. And you're saying the president is going to do another reshuffle in March?
Yes. We should have part 2 and part 3.
In March?
Latest by March, we should have all 2.
Where is the president?
He traveled.
So he dropped the list and
traveled? He dropped and ran away.
Well,
he doesn't want any problem.
Look, we hope you've enjoyed this. Sami Rafi, great presidential correspondent, awesome coverage. There's a lot more coming up, as you know, from part 2 and part 3. Thanks for watching tonight's edition of The Point of View. My name is Ben Avile. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.